What is the difference between a corporation and an S corporation? That's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to get started right now. Hi, my name is Taylor Darcy with Darcy Law. I work with startups, entrepreneurs, and small businesses to help them with their legal needs. So the big difference between an S corp and a corporation is, now remember in some of my other videos we've talked about what an S corporation is. It's actually a tax designation status. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about that, but an S corp is an IRS what's called small business corporation. Now, there is actually, at least in California, other jurisdictions may be different, but in California there is a small business or a small corporation, and it is actually even more restrictive than the tax designation. For California, you can only have 35 shareholders, one class of stock, so on and so forth, similar to that, but it's even more restrictive. And so generally speaking, it's not a good pick for most people. A regular corporation can have multiple classes of stock, which is important because there are some investors that they want to make sure they get their money, and you can have preferred stock, which we're not going to talk about in this video, but it's a different class of stock. And you can also have common stock. And those are big differences. You can't do that with an S corp. Also, if you're looking for outside investors that are foreign investors, then you're going to want a regular corporation versus an S corp, right? Now, an S corp is traditionally a general stock corporation, at least in California, that has the S corp designation. Okay, so technically it's a general corp, but in order to maintain that, you have to maintain the strict requirements that are laid down by the IRS, and you have to keep that up, right? You can't just get the status one year and then kind of blow through the requirements the next year and hope to get the status. You have to continually keep up. So it's possible that you could do all this work to get that status, which it's not terribly long and detailed, but I mean, you do have to do extra work to get the status, and then end up blowing it because you made a choice on somebody else that's coming in as an owner of the business. And so those are considerations that you need to make. So largely, an S corp and a corporation are the same entity. It's how they're taxed that's different. And that's important to know. I mean, obviously taxes are important, but generally speaking, everything else is the same. So the formalities, the rigid structure, the way that employees are paid, those are all factors that go into what a corporation is, and then further on to the S corporation. So it's important that as you're evaluating your ideas for your business and your desire for growth, that you make your decisions based upon what's best for you for starting up, but also long term. There are certain decisions like S corp status that are great that you can designate, and then in the beginning, and then as you grow and get bigger and get all these different investors, that then you're going to lose the status, and you know that that's a factor, but you sometimes have to do that in order to grow. So that's the difference between a corporation and an S corp. Again, it's a tax designation. They generally are the same thing. In California, you can actually have an S corp, if you will, but it has that restriction of 35, no more than 35 shareholders, one class of stock, all of that stuff. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them below. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have. You can find me on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. I'm everywhere that you want to be. I hope to help you soon. Talk to you later. Bye.